Russell Westbrook is expected to join the Clippers. The Chargers have surprisingly lost their defensive coordinator. Well, they didn't exactly lose him. They know where he is. He's over in Miami. And Miguel Vargas's little piggy went crack. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. It's February 21st, 2023. I want to thank the new subscriber who joined the Angelino Familia. Absolutely appreciate everybody who comes in, man. We're trying to build something here for LA sports. And if you like the content we put out about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. That's why I put this thing together in the first place. So before we go through the news and notes, look at the scoreboard, which is slim pickings. There were no games involving LA teams yesterday. Hell, today the Kings are the only thing going on as well. They're at Minnesota at 5. And I got to tell you something. There was a writer. The scribe writes that Phoenix Copley or bust for the Kings. Can you argue it? The last game the Kings played, Jonathan Quick started in goal. Kings did win, but Jonathan Quick allowed 5 goals in just 32 shots. Maybe it really is Phoenix Copley or bust. But what the hell, let's just move on to the news and notes. Russell Westbrook is expected to sign with the Clippers. This is according to his agent. Westbrook and Utah are working on a buyout, hasn't come down just yet. Simply put, the guy wants to stay in Los Angeles. And can you blame him? I mean, I'm not talking about, simply LA is so amazing. What I mean is good for him because he went to UCLA. He obviously has friends and family here. And he's at an age where it's like, hey, can I get paid, hopefully win, and stay with people I care about? So on that level, good for him. But I have to tell you, the giggling hype spewers over at ESPN, you know, the little tickly commentators who were like, can't stop screaming with delight or scorn over certain things, they love this move. And I'm telling you, it makes me extremely skeptical. There's only one way that this move makes sense for me, for the Clippers, that is. Unlike Houston, unlike the Lakers, the Clippers did not have to tear their entire roster down in order to bring Westbrook in. So on that level, I'm cool with it. But The Athletic is reporting that the Clippers plan to start Russell Westbrook. What? You're going to take away minutes from Terrence Mann? You're going to take away minutes from Norman Powell? That is drooling in a Dixie Cup level insane. I mean, I don't even know how well it's going to work as it is. If they decided to have him coming off the bench to, quote, lead the bench mob like they tried with the Lakers. One analyst did say something that was very interesting. In order for Westbrook to work on a team, he has to control the ball and basically be surrounded by a bunch of shooters. So the defense sags off, protects the other shooters, which gives Westbrook a chance to drive to the lane. That didn't happen with the Lakers. LeBron had the ball, not Westbrook. The Lakers didn't have shooters. Guess what the Clippers do? Yeah. Westbrook's not controlling the ball, and they're shooting out from the outside. It's kind of questionable as well. So how is this actually going to work for the Clippers, is my question. I could be wrong. This whole idea of a change of pace guard might work, but dang, having him start over Terrence Mann? Okay. Chargers defensive coordinator Ronaldo Hill bolted, sorry, that pun was unintentional, for Miami. Both Hill and Chargers head coach Brandon Staley, they both worked under the new Dolphins coach, Vic Fangio. Now, the move is not exactly going to be sending shockwaves throughout the Chargers locker room, okay? Staley calls the defensive plays, and they had already filled Hill's role. They promoted secondary coach Derek Ainsley to defensive coordinator. Tommy Donatel is going to be your new secondary coach. So, in a way, I'm sitting there saying to myself, The spin of this move is the thing that makes me feel a little weird. Both sides, Staley, the Chargers, are saying, oh, we all loved Vic Fangio so much, we just wanted to give him a shot, so here, raid our coaching staff. Does that make any sense to you whatsoever? Of course not. You don't just randomly give away talent to other teams. So I don't buy that. I think if anything, I think Brandon Staley is sitting there saying to himself, you know what? We got rid of our offensive coordinator after the disaster over in Jacksonville. Why not do the same with a defensive coordinator? Because, oh, by the way, he wasn't giving me good enough counsel during the playoffs. I needed a sounding board because I'm the guy calling the defensive plays. The defense looked like garbage in the second half. I can't blame myself. I got to have a fall guy. Oh, by the way, Vic Fangio, here, take this guy. You like him? Go right ahead and have him. To me, that makes a lot more sense. I'm not saying they were going to fire Ronaldo Hill if he didn't go to Miami. I'm just saying that Staley was giving himself a very convenient scapegoat. Over at Camelback Ranch, Dodgers prospect who is supposed to be the starting second baseman this year, Miguel Vargas, broke his right pinky. The LA Times is reporting that. Now, it's not that huge of a deal. It's just a hairline fracture. And he actually will be able to take part in some drills as long as it doesn't involve holding a bat, which is kind of unfortunate because that's the reason why he's been pushed to the big leagues in the first place. The guy can mash. We talked last week about Freddie Freeman telling everybody who would listen to him, guys, Jason Hayward is coming back. Jason Hayward, the ball's exploding off his bat, which was kind of a surprise because Jason Hayward was terrifyingly bad last year. Hayward himself was cool enough to admit it. He was saying he was so bad last year that if he were a GM, he wouldn't have signed himself to play. So when LA went out and signed him, he knew that there was going to be drastic changes to his swing, and he got with the program. So they've altered his stance. They've changed his hand placement. Hayward, for a long time, batted with his hands right here. The Dodgers have lifted it up, and apparently that has been making all the difference. That has been what's been leading to the rave reviews from the teammates about the ball exploding off the bat. Now, does that mean Jason Hayward is making the team? We don't know yet. But if you're wondering if there might be some legitimacy to Hayward all of a sudden hitting well, there you go. A former GM and a columnist for The Athletic, Jim Bowden, good dude. He thinks that Diego Cartaya is the best catching prospect in all of baseball, which is going to lead to a question when he's ready for the bigs. Does that mean that he's going to take over for Will Smith? And if so, you know, it's either Cartaya is going to be trade bait or Will Smith is going to get let go. And that's a big question for LA. Mike Scioscia, though, gave an indication as to how good Diego Cartaya is going to be. Called him a cross between Buster Posey and Salvador Perez. Now that is a terrific combination to have. Former Laker Patrick Beverley is signed with Chicago for the rest of the season. Good for him. We all need to get paychecks in Biden's America, I would say. That's why I'm in Portland, Oregon, for Pete's sakes. Trying to make that extra cash. The Seattle Seahawks are going to hire senior offensive assistant Greg Olson away from the Rams. He's going to be the Seahawks' new quarterback coach. Now, Olson's resume is long, right? He's coached in San Francisco, Chicago, Detroit, Tampa, Jacksonville, the Raiders, both in Oakland and Las Vegas, and the Rams, both in St. Louis and Los Angeles. And you read something like that, and you want to be impressed until you realize, bro, you've been fired from at least 7 jobs. Are you sure this is your life's work? Are you sure? Oh yeah, coaches get hired to get fired. Not this quick. So I'm not sure what this guy says in interviews. Maybe he's got photos of like a giant Maybe the man has photos of a giant head coaching orgy and he uses that as leeway to get checks. I have no idea. I have no idea. The Galaxy haven't added at least one winger to their roster after all this time. The club has signed former U.S. men's national team forward Tyler Boyd. Now, Boyd has been appearing for the Galaxy in exhibition matches, so this signing is a bit of a fait accompli. For club, not country, because he hasn't played for the Americans since 2019, but in club matches, Tyler Boyd has scored 54 goals in 278 matches. And I got to tell you something, that may not sound like it sets the world on fire. There are some Galaxy fans who are not quite certain about this move. I'm going to tell you why you should be certain about this move. 54 goals in 278 matches? Well, if you take a look at it, if you run the stats, it would have taken 73 and a half years for Kevin Cabral to score that many goals. At the pace Kevin Cabral was going, with 6 goals in 2 years, it would have taken 278 club matches to match what it would have taken 73 and a half years. 73 and a half years to match what Tyler Boyd has done. 73 and a half. Could you imagine trying to catch Tyler Boyd when you're Kevin Cabral? I mean, do you get called for handball when you're using the walker in the penalty box, trying to get that ball across the net? The ball comes crossing in, hits your walker, referee's whistle blows. That's going to be a long time for Kevin Cabral to match that level of production, folks. I'm not saying Tyler Boyd is a one-stop solution. I'm saying 73 and a half years. UCLA basketball is up to number 3, I should say, in the AP rankings. The only other Pac-12 team that is in the rankings is Arizona at 7. Meanwhile, over at USC, Boogie Ellis was named the Pac-12 Player of the Week. He scored 33 points for Stanford against Stanford last week. That is the most the Trojans players have scored in a match in 4 years. He is 3rd in conference scoring with 17 points per game. The Trojans are still a bubble team, though. ESPN, they have 2 bracketologists, if you will. One of them says that the Trojans are going to be one of the first 4 teams out of the NCAA playoffs. One says that they're in. CBS has them as one of the, quote, last 4 to make the cut. Finally, the Sparks have signed Yang Liwei, a Chinese guard. She won a silver medal for the Chinese national team in the FIBA Women's World Cup. She also played with Sparks forward Nneka Ogubike. So there is some familiarity with the roster. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Is Russell Westbrook actually a good idea? Is the Chargers defense going to be okay without their defensive coordinator? And if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos, because we talk LA sports each and every day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.